Every week, we spotlight Rochester businesses in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce for Geared for Growth. And the big business story the next few days is the PGA Championship.
We've been talking about it, and there is a lot to talk about. To get with us is the PGA Championship Director, Bryan Karns, and Chairman of the Championship, Ron Pluta. Gentlemen, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so in commercial break, we were chatting. You guys have been waiting years to show off all of the renovations made to the course, yes?
Yes, we are. We're very excited. We're very excited for not only the players to come and see what the golf course is all about, but we're excited for the 200,000+ fans that we expect that next week.
So every year the PGA is held at different golf courses. Last time it was here was in 2013. What is so special about the Rochester area that you want to come back?
I'll answer that on behalf of the PGA, but it all starts with the golf course, right? Having a world-class golf course, and if you look at the resume that Oak Hill has, it's really unparalleled, and I think you put it up there with the greatest golf courses, not just in the country, but really in the world. And so that's really where it starts. But I think we're in kind of this modern era of championships, and we're hosting 200,000 people. The biggest thing we look for is a community that's going to support the event. So it's the business community that's supporting us from a hospitality standpoint. We've got to recruit over 3,000 volunteers, and so to have people that want to take time, out of their day or take vacation days and pay to come and volunteer, that's a huge commitment, and we couldn't run these championships without them. But then I think when you factor in the government support, people buying tickets, people just asking whatever they can do to help, it's basically impossible. Every time we've left, which is this will be the 4th time we've come, and then in 2 weeks we'll leave, it's been impossible to not come back. And I think that's what our goal is to have a great week, but then also make that case that in 10 years we need to be back here.
With those volunteers, I have to imagine at some point you say, okay, we've got more than enough volunteers, no?
We were oversold on volunteers. They're coming from 43 states in the country just to come in and volunteer their time. We sold out over 3,500 volunteers in less than a week.
That's incredible.
Oh my gosh. What are you hearing from them? I'm sure that they've all been kind of weighing in as we lead up to the start of it. What kind of jobs are they going to be doing, and how have they been responding to it?
Well, you'll see them everywhere. You'll see them inside the ropes helping, find golfers' balls. They're out, refilling coolers. They're working in the merchandise shop. It's again, we could absolutely not do these championships without them coming out. But all of them, to a man and a woman, have incredible stories because they volunteered for the KitchenAid Senior PGA in 19 and the PGAs in the past and the U.S. Opens and the Ryder Cups. And I think it's their connection to this sort of historic events that are happening in the community. People love being behind the scenes, but I think it's very sort of, apparent that people want to support these events. They know that without them stepping in, that it would be very difficult for us to run and then in turn come back in the future. And because, all of these metrics that we use to determine success, we keep exceeding here. Again, it makes our job so much easier because this is not the norm everywhere we go. And I think this is a special place, the golf course, but I think more than that, it's the community.
For somebody who's not been to Oak Hill since the last time the PGA was here, lots of renovations in that time. What can they expect to see different?
Well, in 2019, we renovated all of the greens, all the bunkers on the East Course, our championship course. So even Phil Mickelson, who came out and had a practice round, and he played in 2013, he said, I don't remember the course looking like this 10 years ago. So it's completely been renovated. All the greens have been redone, and there's many new pin placements, and bunkers are changed, and so it's a whole new golf course.
Let's talk about merchandise. You've got this really cool sweater on right now. Just give us a quick view of what people might be able to see.
I'll let Bryan handle that.
Well, I mean, the big thing is we've got a 50,000 square foot merchandise tent that we're opening up on Friday morning. So we actually, the week of the championship, and we will move more merchandise than, I don't know. I don't know who moves more merchandise in the span of 10 days than us.
Well, as the PGA tournament approaches, people who live near Oak Hill in Pittsford and tour attendees may be in for a surprise when it comes to parking. 13 Wham's Jackie Napier reports organizers are shaking things up with new safety rules and regulations.
Rob Cleary lives 500 feet from the main gates of Oak Hill Country Club. He's parked cars in his lawn for several major events.
Our experience has always been great. It's always a fun time of year. It's rare that Rochester gets this influx of people from all over the world.
Following a letter he and dozens of neighbors received from the PGA, Cleary's expecting to change his usual parking routine. In collaboration with the Sheriff's Office and the town of Pittsford, the PGA developed a neighborhood traffic plan that mandates the use of PGA-verified parking hang tags for homeowners who plan to park vehicles on their lawns or driveways.
I mean, it's not as though this is something that puts more money into the pockets of the PGA. If that were the case, they'd be selling hang tags to people, but they are giving these to the residents, and the residents can have as many as they want. And if the residents don't want to use them to have parkers, the residents can sell them online.
According to the letter, residents of the 84 houses impacted will receive up to 15 daily hang tags, and more will be made available if necessary. While Cleary understands the need for safety measures, he says parking has always run smoothly in the past.
And I think the permitting and all that stuff is actually not a bad system, but for them to have a say on who parks where when it comes to people's private property, I think it's starting to tip towards the side of a little infringing.
Yeah. Despite the changes to the system, Cleary says he is still excited to assist his family and friends, and perhaps a few walk-in attendees, enjoy the tournament with a short walk from his house to the front gate.
I'm confident this parking situation isn't going to hinder everyone's excitement. Just kind of a minor speed bump we'll have to work around at the end of the day.
The annual Lilac Festival is just days away, and security will be a top priority. As we hear from Cheyenne Walker, law enforcement will work with other agencies to make sure everyone stays safe while enjoying the festival.
Thousands of people from across the country are expected to visit Highland Park for the 125th annual Lilac Festival, which kicks off Friday. People behind the scenes are preparing now to keep the crowd safe.
So we have safety plans in place that we coordinate with the festival organizers themselves, as they have private security within the facility, within the festival itself. And our goal is to maintain the safety on the outside of the festival. But again, we continue to work with the organizers to ensure that this festival goes off as safely as possible.
According to a statement from Ed Schramm, the security manager for the festival producer Spring It Group, the safety and security for the Rochester Lilac Festival is an effort overseen and managed in partnership with Monroe County, the City of Rochester, and first responders. Schramm says law enforcement officers will patrol the fence perimeter with a minimum of 2 to 3 New York State licensed security personnel, monitoring each of the festival's 5 entrances.
So the police department, we're responsible for we take care of the outside of the festival. So our primary goal is making sure that people get to and from the festival as safely as they can. So whether that be crossing the street, traffic outside the festival, and the surrounding neighborhoods around it.
Within the festival grounds, both uniform and plainclothes security personnel will patrol and conduct necessary inspections. Lieutenant Greg Bello says there will be a visible police presence in the area over the 10-day event.
It's going to vary on a day-to-day basis based upon, time of day as well, based upon whether it's a weekend, whether there's a big band playing on a weekend night. We're obviously going to have more officers than, say, a Wednesday morning.
And Lieutenant Bello says, nonetheless, given the recent increase in car thefts and break-ins, officers will do everything they can to prevent cars from being stolen and broken into during the event.